A pristine day, such as only the Canoe can produce, saw the start of the 82-kilometre Sunseeker Fish River Canoe Marathon. 82 kilometres of testing rapids, weirs, bridges, rocks and washing machines. Over 4,000 people, competitors, their seconds and helpers, descended on the quiet Canoe town of Craddock last weekend to take on the fish. This event has grown remarkably over the last 14 years of its history, with just 77 starters in 1982 to a record entry of nearly 1,500 competitors for the 95 Challenge. It's not hard to see why. The challenge, the camaraderie, the oops and the don'ts. Grass Ridge Dam, the source of 24 cubic of water cascading down to swell one of Africa's ancient rivers. The water being used for irrigation or to fill Lake Ments, and on this weekend for sport. Not a drop wasted. The main Mana What Counts were the first across the start line in a frantic dash for the dam wall, with the other batches of canoeists to set off at 3 to 5 minute intervals. This sprint to the dam wall over 2.3 kilometres took the leaders just over 8 minutes to the first compulsory portage, and a 700-metre run to join the river below the dam wall, with Knutsford a gruelling 45 kilometres away. After a short portage at Collet Weir, the canoeists head for their first serious and very underrated hazard at Toast Rack. As the leaders skillfully negotiated the small openings of the bridge, some competitors soon realized why this was called Toast Rack, with 1 or 2 competitors getting themselves into serious danger and having to be assisted by spectators and marshals. Cumac was decided on after considering all the obstacles in the river and of course the availability of the water, with the safety of the competitors of paramount importance. With more water, some hazards would become too easy, with others, like Toast Rack, becoming life-threatening. Last year saw the event as the start of the K2 Championships. This year is the turn of the K1s. The first major rapid of the event and an optional portage for the beginners was Keith's Flyover, a mass of seething white water which has the reputation as a fearful place and the worst nightmare of many a canoeist. With only the most experienced tackling this potentially boat-breaking section of the marathon. the first day at Knutsford ahead of the competitors, now some 30 kilometres away, the canoeist had to contend with several small obstacles at Brack River Weir, Prospect Bridge and Saltpans Weir before heading for the next real challenge at Saltpans Bridge. The leaders reached Saltpans Bridge 2 hours after they first entered the water at Grass Ridge Dam. This is a single file event and canoeists have only one chance of shooting the bridge. The bridge is followed by a set of rapids, and if they were lucky enough to shoot the bridge unscathed, they still have to maneuver through the rapids below. At Prospect Low-Level Bridge, competitors had to decide whether to continue or not, as this was the cut-off time limit of 4 hours 30 minutes after the start of the race. Kapkop Weir was a compulsory portage, for obvious reasons. The weir is a 2-metre drop, an impressive sight with 24 cubic of water cascading down into the last section of the first day. The first paddlers hit this portage point at just over 2 hours after the start. Although this is also a refreshment point, the leaders sprinted through to maintain current positions. Everyone knows that one mistake at this stage could cost valuable minutes. For some of the competitors, it was a chance to do some emergency repairs to see them over the last 9.7 kilometres to Knutsford Bridge. Some of the boats took on a unique character with innovative repairs. Others from Natal brought patkos, or should that be waterkos? Any case, it looked like bananas. The women tackling this event fared well, showing tremendous stamina and strength. Knutsford Bridge, and the end of the first day was a welcome sight for the weary leaders, with Graham Bird first over the line, followed by Daniel Conradi and Wayne Volek third.
They let out a lot more water than they usually do today, 24 cubics, which is about 4-5 cubics more than they normally do. It was very, very nice. So the weather treated us nicely, not too hot. It was very pleasant. Keith's Flyover, when I got there, I still wasn't sure whether I was going to shoot or portage. I was a little bit nervous. I was only lying third then. Wayne Volek was maybe 100, 200 meters in front of me. He climbed out and portage. I decided I'd better shoot. I shot and I got maybe 100, 200 meters on him. And so it actually paid off in the end, and actually was quite easy. Well, it had flattened out with the extra water.
Results of the first day were as follows. First, Graham Bird from Wits in a time of 2 hours 54 minutes and 20 seconds. Daniel Conradi from Neisner second, 2 hours 54 minutes 22 seconds, and Wayne Volek from the Kingfisher team in third place, 2 hours 54 minutes and 29 seconds. After the first day's racing, many competitors had to make repairs to damaged gear, and the sound of angle grinders filled the evening air back at the campsite. Broken canoes had to be glass fibered overnight and steering gear restrung for the next day. Day 2 dawned bright with a fresh southeasterly wind blowing at 20 knots, directly into the faces of the competitors. With a canoeist being wet, the wind chill factor played havoc with tired muscles. Knutsford Bridge, the start of day 2, was reminiscent of downtown Johannesburg, with helpers and spectators vying for the best position. Last-minute preparations were frantic as the marshals called the 5-minute countdown. The start was once again in batches, and the leaders took off with a frantic paddle towards Craddock, some 37 kilometers away, followed by the rest of the 1,190 eager and excited paddlers. With the cold weather, liquid intake is of vital importance, as it's easy to forget to drink, and this would lead to dehydration, muscle cramps and other disorders. Concentration was the order of the day, with the only one thing on the leaders' minds: to finish first and to keep their boats intact. first whitewater was encountered at Baroda Bridge, 6.5 kilometers and 40 minutes after the start. The first canoeists rocketing through this fast section. By this stage, they had opened a considerable gap with the rest of the field, with Graham Bird and Wayne Volek taking the lead. This year saw the first use of the newly constructed chute at Marlow Weir, built with funds generated from this event and overseen by the Department of Water Affairs. This weir used to be a compulsory portage for canoeists. Graham Bird had the honours of first down the chute, and it looked as if it would have been plain sailing for the rest of the field. But this was short of the truth, as a pile-up quickly developed. Open stretch of water before the infamous Craddock Weir, and Bird seemed unchallenged. But Craddock Weir had its own reputation for trashing boats and hopes. As an optional portage, the weir of 2 meters can be negotiated one at a time, controlled by a marshal. The water rushing over the weir causes a vortex in which the paddlers can be trapped, and this cost many paddlers valuable minutes. But yet another opportunity to freshen up in the mighty fish. For Graham Bird, the end was in sight as he paddled his way over the last 3.6 kilometers to finish in a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes and 59 seconds, with Daniel Conradi second.
Oh, it was very pleasant today. Didn't push too hard in the beginning parts. Waited for the end, and I got a good break at Marlow Weir, and it was nice. It gave me a bit of a gap for the end.
Results of the second day. First, Graham Bird from Wits, a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes and 59 seconds. Daniel Conradi from Neisner in second place, 2 hours, 21 minutes and 33 seconds. And Wayne Volek from the Kingfisher team still in third place, 2 hours, 21 minutes and 40 seconds. The results of the K2 division or doubles were as follows. In first place for Kerk and Engelbrecht, a time of 5 hours, 32 minutes and 14 seconds. The team of Wenke and Burns in second place, 5 hours, 37 minutes, 38 seconds. And Hay and Ching in third place, 5 hours, 39 minutes and 3 seconds. The overall result of the K1 Championship was as follows. In first place, Graham Bird, 5 hours, 14 minutes and 20 seconds. Daniel Conradi was second in a time of 5 hours, 15 minutes, 55 seconds, with Wayne Volek third place, 5 hours, 16 minutes and 10 seconds.